Many thanks for joining us on News Now on TV360 Nigeria. I am Annetta Felix. Following criticism from various quarters, the federal government has announced the suspension of the planned RUGA project. RUGA, which is an acronym for Rural Grazing Area, is an initiative of the Buhari-led administration aimed at addressing the recurring conflict between herdsmen and farmers. The program, according to the government, would entail the establishment of 6 cattle ranches in selected states. It, however, did not get a warm reception from Nigerians, as many kicked against it. The suspension was announced by presidential spokesperson Bashir Ahmed, who said the program was halted after consultation with stakeholders. Addressing State House correspondent, Ebonyi State Governor Dave Umahi confirmed the suspension of the initiative.
We are aware that today that Mr. President has suspended the implementation of RUGA program initiated and being implemented by the Federal Ministry of Agriculture and Natural Resources because it is not consistent with the NEC and federal government approved National Livestock Transformation Plan, which has programs of rehabilitation of displaced IDPs resulting from the crisis and also development of ranching in any willing state of the Federation. The word is willing state of the Federation. The National Livestock Transformation Plan, its beauty is that what NEC and federal government approve is a voluntary program to all the 36 states who may like to participate. So it's not compulsory, it is for any state that is willing. We came to the program. Any state that is interested in this program is required to bring up a development plan that is keyed towards the implementation in line with our own program here that is unique to his state based on the challenges that he has in respect of the crisis. That's the section of this subcommittee.
Meanwhile, President Muhammadu Buhari is set to sign a treaty for the establishment of the African Continental Free Trade Area. In the tweets posted on Wednesday, the presidency announced that the agreement will be signed at the 12th Extraordinary Summit of the African Union, scheduled to hold from July 4th to July 8th in Niamey, Niger. According to the tweets, President Buhari's resolve to sign the deal follows extensive domestic consultations. Nigeria's agreement to the deal comes 3 days after members of the Economic Community of West African States, ECOWAS, agreed to launch a single currency in the region. Now, just hours after it was released, tons of reactions have trailed the video footage of a senator assaulting a woman at a store in Abuja. The video, recorded by a closed-circuit television, CCTV, shows lawmaker representing Adamawa North, Elisha Abo, hitting the woman severely and urging a policeman to arrest her. Reacting to the incident, Inspector General of Police Mohammed Adamu has ordered a comprehensive investigation into the matter. The lawmaker's actions has also been condemned by his party, the PDP, and the former Vice President Atiku Abubakar. Senator Abu has, however, reacted to the video, saying he was first assaulted by the woman. Let's now take a look at the footage in question.
Drop your phone while I'm talking. I said drop your phone. She's talking to her father. I said drop your phone now, I'm talking. You call him, but nobody's arresting you. Take it. Very stupid. Please take it easy now. What's your problem? You are very stupid. I think you're very stupid. I've been coming to you. Are you mad? I know where you go. I think you're very stupid. Take her. Go with her. Wrong. I said go. I said go. Go. Take her away. Take her away. Can you move back? Move back. Can you move back? You are my friend. I'll slap you. Move back. I said move back. I said out. I said out. Can you out? I'll get out. Go back. You are my friend. I'll slap you. Go with her. I said go. I said go with her. I said go out. I said go. Walk out now. I said go out. Go out. Look at this dog. Can you don't talk, oh? You get me angry. You are my friend and you misbehave. And I'll shut down your shop. I've known you for how long? That's my Go now. Get out. Daniel. Get out. Wait, no, don't. You're pulling me. If I don't know you, I will have torn you down. Somebody's done your job. Does it mean that if you see me, I fall down, you say it's none of your business? Is that your life? Is that your life? So if you think I fall down tomorrow, you say it's not your fucking business. Go, I will make myself look you. I heard your voice and I came back. We are talking touch and making noise. I heard your voice and I came back. Are you the other phone? Sorry. I had to look at my face again. Ben is talking. I had to go that idiot. Please, I beg you in the name of God. She was not here when I had this. I beg you in the name of God. She was not here when I had this. I interval say calm down. Can I tell Kemi I will throw your phone down for nothing? Somebody lie down. Lie down here. You go and take me. I was going again and I heard your voice and I came back. Just please look at me. All right, then let me go. Let me go now. Okay, let me go. Go, sir.
Meanwhile, protesters stormed the National Assembly complex in Abuja, demanding the prosecution of Senator Elisha Abu for assaulting a woman. The protesters include popular activist Aisha Yasufu and other human rights activists. Bearing placards with various inscriptions, the porters demanded the immediate prosecution of the lawmaker and his police orderlies. The Senate has now set up an ad hoc committee to probe the matter. The order was given after Senator Opeyemi Bamidele, representing Ekiti Central, moved the motion.
It was an extremely tragic news, but we cannot afford to be sensational about this. On the other hand, Mr. President, Nigerians must also be able to see us very clearly as people who are willing and ready to lead by example. And I believe that much as we must ensure that our colleague does not suffer for what he did not do, assuming without considering that he didn't do this. On the other hand, we must be able to also protect the rights of a Nigerian who obviously have been reported to have been violated. What we read in the news, Mr. President, is in clear violation of the provisions of sections 33, 34, and 35 of the Constitution of the Federal Republic of Nigeria 1999 as amended, which provide respectively for the right to life, right to dignity of human person, and right to personal liberty. Mr. President, I believe there's a need for this, Senate, to be able to set up an ad hoc committee to be able to thoroughly investigate this and give each side a fair hearing so that in the eye of the public and to our own conscience, we would have been able to ensure that justice is not only dispensed in this matter, but that it is done so transparently.
There was mild drama at the House of Representatives today as Speaker of the House, Femi Gbajabiamila, named Ndudi Elumelu as Minority Leader of the House. The opposition, People's Democratic Party, had in a letter announced Kingsley Chinda as its leader in the House, but their request was shoved aside by Gbajabiamila, who announced the different names for different minority leadership positions. Now, both Elumelu and Chinda are members of the PDP. The Senate had on Tuesday named Eyinaya Abaribe, the minority leader of the Red Chamber, as requested by the PDP. Now, the PDP had asked its members to vote against Gbajabiamila when the latter was contesting for the House leadership position on June 11th. Now, the Presidential Election Tribunal has dismissed the request by the PDP to set aside the proceedings of June 11th, 2019. Now, on June 11th, the APC filed an application before the tribunal asking it to expunge some aspect of the petition filed by the PDP. Ruling on the application, the tribunal held that the PDP lacked sufficient evidence to prove its case Hence, the application was dismissed for lack of merit. The court also suspended ruling in all of the application filed by all parties in the petition of the People's Democratic Party against the election of President Muhammadu Buhari to the dates when the final judgment in the petition will be delivered. Meanwhile, the PDP will on Thursday begin calling witnesses to prove their petition against the victory of President Muhammadu Buhari at the February 23rd poll. And now to security matters. The Nigerian Army has paraded 15 suspects linked to the killing of former Air Chief Alex Bade on December 18, 2018. The suspects were paraded by Chairman of the Joint Investigative Panel, Major General Bamidele Shafa, who revealed that 5 of the suspects are at large but assured that security agencies are on their trail. Shafa, however, ruled out the possibility of a political undertone attached to the murder. Meanwhile, one of the suspects confessed to the crime, revealing that a gang of 7 had murdered him.
You were aware that when this incident happened, there were all sorts of stories in the air. So my committee had a responsibility to determine whether those stories were true or not. And from all evidences that were presented before my panel, there was nothing, I say again, there was nothing that suggested that there was political undertone to the attack and killing of former Chief of Defense Staff. It was purely criminal, orchestrated by a few criminals, some of them whom we have arrested and we have paraded to you this morning. As at the time the incident happened, there were some service personnel with the late senior officers. And it is right that in the course of investigation, there are also asked questions that will assist in the findings. The officer and the airmen have since been released to their services for appropriate action for their omission and commission as revealed by my panel.
My life, I'm never do something robbery. Even chicken, I never steal in my life. So this is a mistake. I'm never do it in my life. To God who make me. This is the first time. This is my first time that I'm doing this thing. On that very day, Alhaji Mabe called me. I carry my car. I went to carry this Najinja. I carry go to Kwai site. So he now called me. He say, so the man don't come to the farm. I say, hi, me Alhaji Mabe this work. I'm never do it work. How are we going to work this? When he said, make no worry, no problem, nothing will happen. I said, okay, nothing will happen. He said, nothing will happen. I said, okay, where are now? So we have already talked with those people there. So later I carry my car coming back. Then I come park my car for Gitata. So after we come meet ourselves for there, we attack in road. We are 7, sir. So after we finish the work, there is one man that I carry into Kefi hospital. After we have killed him, then I carry my car, go Kefi, go carry that man. The man don't die, so I carry good dead body, come back.
A Nigerian Air Force fighter plane of Operation Hadarin Daji has killed at least 20 armed bandits near Mohanye in Zamfara State. In a statement, the force spokesman, Air Commodore Ibikunle Daramola, revealed that the operation was carried out on Tuesday. He says it was executed following intelligence reports indicating that scores of armed bandits had assembled at the location for a meeting. The statement adds that over 30 armed bandits were guarded at the location, but only 20 of them were neutralized after the airstrike. As part of the Army Training Week 2019, the Nigerian Army is organizing sanitation exercises and medical outreaches. General John Malu, the commander of the Nigerian Army Engineering Corps, says the event is important because it helps create a cordial relationship between the Army and civilians in the country. Residents of Ojo Barracks and environs have come out in their numbers, as well as 4 other areas in Lagos, to receive free medical tests and medication.
The military are not operating in isolation, and so during our celebrations, which is an annual event, we reach out to the public and we try to educate the public, carry out activities so that the public will know that this is their army. These are part of things that we will call civil-military relation. And then the public will get to know the workings of the army, and then maybe we'll endear ourselves so that you don't only think that soldiers only carry a gun and go to war, but we do a lot of other things that are human-related. You also saw us distributing mosquito nets and others to pregnant women and nursing mothers. This is all part of the medical outreach.
One of the beneficiaries of the outreach, Joseph Odoka, praised the Army for their efforts while calling on other agencies to emulate them.
I cannot read very well without glasses, and even with the glass, sometimes I have headache. But these are glasses that I buy from the market, and as I've seen the eye doctor now, she has given me a free reading glass that is better than the one that I used to use before. I'm so impressed. It is very good. If other agencies can copy it, it will benefit a lot of Nigerians.
4 firms accused of aiding former First Lady Patience Jonathan to conceal proceeds of unlawful activities have filed a notice of appeal against the permanent forfeiture of the sums of $8.4 million and 9.2 billion naira to the federal government. Major Research Limited, joined by Finchley Top Homes Limited, AMPM Global Network, and Pagment Oil and Gas Limited, filed 6 grounds of appeal challenging the decision by the Federal High Court. They were asking the appellate court to set aside the order and return the forfeited funds to the account of the appellants. Justice Mojisola Olatoregu had on Monday ordered the final forfeiture of the money to the federal government, saying the EFCC had been able to prove that it was all proceeds of a crime. Now let's take a break here and we'll be right back. Do stay with us.
So, now, straight to business. Good. Now, that case between State versus Femi Wale. Femi Wale? Yes. Is he your son? That's my hair, apparent. Did he actually kill the wife? His juvenile delinquency, they must have taken some few bottles. A man of 40. Juvenile delinquent? Now, what do we do? I don't want him to go to jail. We are very good friends. But for this, I cannot help you. You know I was so nice to you in school. I took care of you. I'll politely leave. No, you can't leave. How much do you want me to pay? Wale, this is not about money. It's about the law. Bribing a judge to subvert the cause of justice is corruption. Not in my country. Corruption not in my country.
Stop corruption now.
Welcome to the business side of the news. The Maritime Workers Union of Nigeria have embarked on a nationwide industrial action to protest unpaid wages to dock workers, among other issues in the sector. The action is expected to substantially shut down port operations, leading to huge losses in terms of revenue to governments and organizations, especially in the upstream oil and gas operations. Speaking to journalists after announcing the strike action, President of the union, Adewale Adeyanju, stressed that the group will not relent until all outstanding payments accumulated for over 1 year are fully liquidated, along with the resolution of other workers' welfare issues. Well, we'll now take a look at activities on the stock market after this. Corruption not in my country.
So, now, straight to business. Good. Now, that case between State versus Femi Wale. Femi Wale?
Yes.
Is he your son?
That's my hair, apparent.
Did he actually kill the wife?
His juvenile delinquency, they must have taken some few bottles.
A man of 40. Juvenile delinquent?
Now, what do we do? I don't want him to go to jail.
We are very good friends. But for this, I cannot help you.
You know I was so nice to you in school. I took care of you.
I'll politely leave.
No, you can't leave. How much do you want me to pay?
Wale, this is not about money. It's about the law. Bribing a judge to subvert the cause of justice is corruption, not in my country.
Welcome back. The downtrend at the NSE enters a third day as key market indicators declined further by 0.07% after yesterday's 0.74% drop. The all-share index closed at 29,375 basis points, while the market capitalization lost about 9 billion naira to stand at 12.947 trillion naira. Well, let's now take a look at the equities are driving this loss. First on the chart is Mobile, which dropped by 17 naira in contrast to what it gained on Monday. Agro company Okomu Oil is the second biggest faller, declining by 3.13%. It was also a bad day for Total right here and Julius Berger, both dropping. Total is dropping by about 2 naira, while Julius Berger is actually depreciating by 1 naira. Well, let's now look at the pack of gainers. It was actually a good day for Cement Company of Northern Nigeria, a blissful day, I must say, for equities like Cement Company of Northern Nigeria, which is appreciating by 2 naira. Nigeria Breweries right here, up by 5 kobo. It is also a good day for Unilever and WAPCO on the gainers chart. Let's now look at the market summary. A total of 4,113 deals exchanged hands in the market, and the total value of equities traded today comes in at 1.978 billion naira. Outside Nigeria, the FTSE is rising by 0.66%, with the all-share index at 7,609 basis points, a height last attained 10 months ago. The Dow is also climbing, just like it did yesterday, while the Nikkei has fallen, dropping by 0.53%. Well, that's it from the world of business. It will be back to Annetta Felix for the rest of the news after this break.
In the last 3 years, we have built a multi-purpose center, which is the envy of all in our constituency. And I can tell you that the people who are living there are already enjoying it.
Guy, do you think what this man just said is true? See, I seriously doubt. I'm sure it's one of those their silly lies.
And wait, do you know there's a way to find out if these things he's saying is true or not? This is the Construct app. It gives people like us a sure way to track implementation of constituency projects. It gives valid and verified information on location of projects, amounts allocated, amount funded, the level of job done, and even the profiles of concerned legislators. You and I can post directly on this app.
Are you serious?
This is the Go-To app if you want to know how our Commonwealth is being expanded by the government.
Wow. Let's even see if what this man said is true. Show me.
The Construct app is developed by Other People Nigeria with support from USAID and is available on both Google Play Store and Apple Store.
And it's true.
Of course, I told you.
200 corpses, including those of people believed to have been executed by the Islamic State group, have been uncovered near the Syrian city of Raqqa. The mass graves contain the bodies of 5 middle-aged men in orange jumpsuits of the kind typically worn by IS hostages. According to Britain-based Syrian Observatory for Human Rights, both men were believed to have been killed more than 2 years ago. The grave also included the bodies of 3 women who are believed to have been stoned to death. The human rights group says the discovery could help identify even more of the several thousands of people whose fates remain unknown, including foreigners imprisoned by ISIS. Now, several other mass graves have already been identified around the city, including one in the neighborhood known as Panorama, from which more than 900 bodies were exhumed. And in European politics, Italian socialist lawmaker David Sassoli has been elected Speaker of the European Parliament for the next 2.5 years. In the second round of voting for the bloc's top jobs in Strasbourg, Sassoli received the support of 345 out of a total of 667 members of parliamentarians to defeat other candidates. The 63-year-old former journalist from Florence replaces conservative Antonio Tajani, who has been Speaker since 2017. In preparation for the Amputee Football Nation Cup taking place in Angola, the Nigeria Amputee Football Federation has released the names of players invited to camp. The final selection of players was made during the second edition of the Nigeria Amputee Football Championship at the National Stadium in Surulere. All invited players are expected to resume camp on the 28th of August. The Amputee Football Nations Cup will hold from the 30th of September to the 14th of November 2019. And that's all for now on News Now on TV360 Nigeria. Many thanks for watching. Bye for now.